So let's suppose you are in an interview and your interviewer asked you that what is the difference between DML and DQL? What commands falls under DML and what commands fall under DQL category? And why the truncate command falls under DDL whereas the delete command falls under DML category? So let's try to answer this question in this video. So before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and share this video with your data peers. So without wasting any time, let's start our video. So before we go deep into the video, let's understand what is DML. That stands for Data Manipulation Language in SQL. Right. Data Manipulation Language or DML stands for Data Manipulation Language. In simple terms, is the part of a database language that let you interact with and change the data inside a database. So whenever you are adding, modifying, or deleting data in a database, you are using DML commands to do it, right? So it simply means that we use DML commands to interact with our database to make changes in our database without changing the structure of the database, right? Whenever you are using data manipulation language, you are not interacting with the structure of the database. Whereas you are, if you're making any changes in the DML in a broad way, you are affecting the schema of a database. So don't worry if you don't know about schema. We will cover about schema in our upcoming videos, right? So under DML, we have three main commands, that is insert, update, and delete command. So what does insert command do? In insert, we simply use insert command whenever we have created our structure of a table and we want to add new values into the table. We use insert command. That is, I have written a definition here for the insert. Insert is one of the key command in data manipulation language. It is used to add new data into a database table. Got it? So next is update. So what does update do? Update simply modifies the data. Update is another important command in data manipulation language. It is used to modify existing data in database table. Suppose you have one table that contains student's number, student's name, student's ID. For the student's ID, suppose you have entered incorrect data for student ID 123, and you want to change the student name, right? So in that case, you will use update command, right? And for delete, it's simply if you can remember when I started the video, I simply asked you that why truncate command falls under DDL whereas delete command falls under DML, right? So let's clarify this question here. What delete command do? It takes one step after another. That means if you are using delete command, you have to do it manually for each and every row. Whereas whenever we are using truncate command, it removes all the row at a single point of time. That means it totally changes the structure of a database. So that is why that falls under DDL, whereas the delete command falls under DML. Because in delete command, you are deleting one row at a single point of time, right? So let's understand these commands by practically doing it in our SQL Server. Let's move to our SQL Server. As you can see, in today's interview, interviewer generally asked you the scenario-based questions, right? So let's assume a scenario where we'll try to understand these commands by using that scenario, right? By the help of that scenario, right? So to understand these commands, let's assume a scenario first. Suppose you are a library manager and you own a library, online library, and you want to, due to the publication of some new books, you want to add those books into your library. And as the publication has increased the price for some existing books, you also want to increase the book price in your library, right? And currently, what the government did is the government banned some books in India. So you have to remove those book lists from your library. So let's see how we can do this. So in the first question, it is asked that we have to add we have to add some new books into our list, right? So in the first task, what we need to do, we have to insert new book's name and all the books information into our table. So to fit the data into our table, we first need to have a table, right? So let's create a table here. Create what name should I give to the table? Books. Let's write it books. Create table books. And now, as I have mentioned earlier, we have to mention the column names and also the data type by the side of the column name, right? So let's write the column name and add the data types. For that, I have to write ID, that is integer, and name of the book, that is varchar, that now I'm mentioning the limit should be 20, character limit should be 20, and let's write uh, the publication, that will be also varchar, and mention it as 30 character limits, and let's add the last one, that is price, right? Our price should be integer, and let's end our parenthesis. So now, as you can see, I've created a table here. You can see the table name is books. So let's see how our table looks like now. To see the table, we can see, so we can write select star from books, right? And let's run this code. As you can see, we do not feed any data into the structure of our table, right? We do not feed any data into the table. Let's uh, let's use insert command that falls under DML category. Let's see how we can add the value into our table by using insert command. So for that, we'll use into insert into books. Now you have to mention only column name, right? That is ID, name, publication, sorry, publication, and the price. Now let's now after writing the table and column name, now you have to write values. Then enter the data that you want to enter into the different fields in the table, right? For the ID, let's write 1234. For the name, for the book name, let's write it as the Guardian of the Universe. The Guardian, only the Guardian, right? So as for the publication, let's write it as Kiran publication. Kiran publication. And as for the price, let's write it as 500. So remember that whenever you are writing any integer, you do not have to put them inside the quotation, right? Let's add a comma here and enter our second value. That will be 1235. Now give the book name, that is the chaos god, the chaos god, sorry, chaos god, and the publication name is Ria, sorry, Ria publication, and the price should be 700. And add a new value, add a next value here. That will be 1236, and and for the name, let's keep it as the soul eater, the soul, the soul eater. Right. As for the publication, you can say ghost publication, ghost publication. right? And as for the price, let's write it as 1000, right? So add a semicolon here. So this is how you can use insert command to add new values into your table, right? You see how our table looks like now. Now just run the selects apostrophe from books. Now you can see we have entered our value into the table, right? So this is how you can use insert command to enter new values to a table. So let's in the second task, it was given that we had to update the price, right? Due to the hike in the price by the book publications, we also have to raise the price in our library, right? So for that, let's write the price for ID number 1234. So to change the price, we will use the update command that falls under DML category, right? So to use update command, let's write update. Now, after update, you have to mention the table name, that is books, update books, set price equal to, uh, we're changing price for the book ID 1234, right? So price equal to 600, where ID is equal to 1234. Add a semicolon here. Let's run this code and see the result. Now it has successfully executed. Now you can see we have changed our price from 500 to 600. So this is how you can use update command in DML, right? So let's see one and only last command, that is delete command, right? So how we will use delete command? So the delete command simply means that we will use one condition where that delete command to be applied, right? So for that, let's write the code delete, sorry, delete. Now you have to write the table name, that is delete table, where ID equal to 1234. Let's run this code. Oh, sorry. For the table, we need to write the table name, right? So we didn't write, we simply write the table. So let's write, that is books, delete books, where ID equal to 1234. As you can see, our program has successfully executed. Let's see how our table looks like now. Like apostrophe uh, from books, right? Add a semicolon and run this. You can see as for the first data, that is 1234, for the ID number 1234, we just remove that particular row, right? Now let's talk about what is DQL, right? In SQL, DQL stands for Data Query Language. Is the part of SQL that deals with the fetching or retrieving data from a database. It simply means that whenever you are trying to retrieve data from our database, we simply use DQL command. Just close your eyes, what command you will use to retrieve the data. That should be the DQL command, right? So under DQL, we have only one command, that is select. And it is every time whenever you will run any code in SQL, you will use this select command. And it is most important command, right? So in SQL, you use command like select to tell the database what data you want to retrieve. You can specify exactly which column of data you are interested in, or you can apply filters to only get the data that meets certain conditions. So let's move to our SQL server to understand this properly. So let's write the code using DQL command, that is select. So suppose uh, now we have two list of books here, that is Chaos God and Soul Eater, right? Now I want to get the book where ID number is 1236. Now I want to get the book where ID number is 1236, right? Let's see how we can get our value. So to get our desired result, let's write the code, select, mm, select star from Now we have to mention the table name, that is books, where now we are applying condition, that is ID number should be 1236, right? Where ID is equal to 1236. Add a semicolon. Let's run this code. As you can see, we got our result, right? For the ID number 1236, we got the book's name, we got the publication, we got the price. Now you can see we got all the value, all the fields here. Because here we mentioned apostrophe, right? If suppose if you want to get only name of the book, then how we can do this? Suppose in the suppose you want to get the book name where the ID number is 1236. Let's see how we can do this. So in place of apostrophe, you can write only name. Select name from books where the ID is 1236, right? You can see I got the book name, right? Now, suppose you want to see the ID and name only. You want to see only two fields, that is ID and name. Let's see how we can do this. Right? ID, comma, name from books, and run this code. Remember that if you want to get multiple fields, if you want to retrieve multiple fields, you can write the fields name separated by comma, right? So that you can get the desired result. Right? So I hope in this video you learned something new, and the concept between DML and DQL is all clear to you, and there should be no doubt regarding DML and DQL, and you understood all the key commands that are present under TML and TQL. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope this video is very insightful to you. And stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Make sure you subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon and share this video with your friends. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.